Oh, Cindy, I didn't recognize you. Hi.
I'm
It's
Cindy. It's nice to meet you.
been so long.
It's been too
Touch not.
long. And it's been too long on the CCA channel, the Clan Hatton Association channel, not too long on yours. I've been trying to
Oh,
keep up with you, traveling all over the world. And my trip got extended, my projects got extended. I'm just back a couple of days, 3 days ago now from other things, which I'll talk a little bit about. And so I need to get back on it. I have so much footage from being in Scotland.
good.
So a couple of things you and I recorded before I left, as well as I have Graham McKenzie and Philip Beddoes. I'm almost
Oh,
done
good.
editing that video. I'm not in that video, thank heavens, but they're talking about Gilly posterity and the
Oh,
origins of
yes.
Manhattan. So everyone, please stay tuned and just know that I'm not traveling anymore. I'm going to be able to edit. Editing takes such a long time. It really does. And it's especially when you're trying to insert charts, graphs, maps,
Yep.
pictures to keep, to help people follow along, which I think is important. So I apologize, everyone. Haven't been here, but I hope you've been tuning into Ray's channel and the Touch Not channel.
Yes. Thanks, Cindy. Yeah, it's so good to be back here. Well, New England's been a very busy place. We've had the Maine Highland Games at Brunswick. That was on August the 17th, and just 1 week later, the Queechee Games up in Vermont on the 24th. Both were fantastic times. I did an interview with Charlie Zahm at the Maine Games. We took a little walk down over the hill away from everybody else down by the edge of the salt marsh, and it came out great. He sang a little medley of two tunes, and we had a little chat. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that again at Loon. And at Queechee, we had a great time with some really great music up there in Vermont. The athletics was fantastic as well. There was a fiddle, Jimmy Laval, if you know him, he's the O2 U.S. fiddle champion. He was there, and he did a talk about fiddling, which is a great thing. He did a little seminar about what he does and why, and just it was a very neat thing. I have a short thing about that on the channel. Yeah, we've been busy and it's been nice.
Go on over to the Touch Not channel, check out that. And because I'm sure it's fascinating. And then if you want to send me some pictures, Ray, I'll post them right here and I'll
Sure.
put the link over. So you've been enjoying the summer, doing all things
Yes.
Scottish. That's great. We were in Inverness for the Clan Hatton Association AGM. Then we
Okay.
were over at Moy, the Moy Country Fair. Now,
Okay.
changed names a couple of times over the last couple of years as there's different people organizing it and handling
Oh,
it.
okay.
Then we went down to Newtonmore, and you might have seen that I posted a couple of just shorts with the Clan March and things going on down there. I had not
Yes.
been down to Newtonmore and been with the McPhersons and done that for quite some time. So
Wonderful.
it was really nice. We marched in the Clan March, went in and did the whiskey tasting after. Then we went and had the clan dinner. And then
Nice.
I got to play pipes with three of their other pipers, and we did a really cool thing. I'll try to include it. It turned out well, I thought, but for four pipers that had never piped together, we all
Yeah.
kind of we did a solo, then we would play together something we knew. Then the next
Right.
person did a solo, then we played all four something we knew,
Oh,
and then
wonderful.
so on and so forth. I think it came off very well and attended their Kaylee. So that was really quite fun. And
Right.
so we've got more McPherson. I know that we are now not in McPherson month, but everyone, we're going to be sprinkling McPherson still through. I got to get everybody
Okay.
covered. So we will still spotlight plan of the month, which is Ray.
Clan Shaw is September. I also will have a little leftover McPherson as well, so don't feel you're the only one.
Well, and I also have I finally got an interview with Ian Donald McGillivray, an
Oh,
update
good.
you. And I've got to get that edited and put it on here as well. So people, please, thank you for your patience. I've got a lot of editing to do. And so but the most important thing I think is these cats and coffees and catching up and having a little more relaxed discussions about things going on with the Kleinhattan Association around the world. And
Yes.
we'll have a couple more people from the McPhersons who would like to come on and talk about all things Clan McPherson. And then I have a project next weekend.
You do?
Yes.
What's that, Cindy?
So you want to hear about it already. So I have been working, I also had formed a 501c3 charity here in the United States called Scott Week. And for the most
Oh,
part,
yes.
it's not really functioning. We brought it up right before COVID hit. And we were 5 weeks out from our events. We had to cancel all of our events in Los Angeles early in 2020. And
Mm,
so we were following Tartan Week NYC. They also had to cancel all their events. That was our first year. And it's been really tough trying to get a footing and a foothold to go back and do that again and revisit those events and having them. And LA is still not recovered. And the biggest place we wanted, or the biggest venue we wanted to hold these events in, is still not able to. Voted to shut Scott Week down and really just kind
mhm.
of let it go and be like,
Okay.
okay. But there's two projects we're still working on that I'm still working on personally, that are kind of, I would say, left over from that.
All
And
right.
one of them is went to Edinburgh to the tattoo and bringing over the Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo to the United States. So still working very fervently with the chief operational officer and Mr. Jason Barrett, and did another interview with him. And so we are working really hard on this, and they're coming over next month to look at a couple of venues. So that's exciting.
Okay.
And then next week, I had been covering and did a lot of coverage and interviewed the actors from the movie Robert the Bruce,
Oh,
which
okay.
came out
Nice.
during COVID as well. So
Oh,
yeah, so they kind of took a hit. But Angus McFadden played Robert the Bruce in Robert the Bruce, and he also was Robert the Bruce in Braveheart.
okay.
And there's quite a number of other actors, very interesting in the movie. And
Hmm.
so they're doing a screening with all the actors in person next week in Livingston, Montana, near Bozeman, where the Yellowstone Film Ranch is located.
Oh, okay.
That's a Western film ranch. And so that's where they shot part of this movie because they weren't able to shoot all of it in Scotland. It's for looking at using this screening, and also we're going to do a couple of screenings next year to get people excited about a new movie going to be produced by the same production company, um, called James Douglas, or it may be called the Black Douglas, a friend of Robert the Bruce, James Douglas,
Absolutely.
and been away from the association business, which I'm going to get back into and get the more of our videos posted.
Right.
Hopefully, maybe even 3 over this weekend would be nice.
Yes, you're right about the Black Douglas was certainly a friend to Robert the First to the very end. I won't spoil that anyone, but to the very end
Yes. Oh,
of
and
his of after the king's life had ended, he was still his friend for a long time, as you know. That'll come out in the movie, I'm sure. This is exciting, a very positive and really a huge spin-off. You could call it a spin-off, but it's going to be a huge story on its own. I can tell that.
well, and maybe you and I can talk a little bit about, if you guys are interested, give us a comment below. I know that it's not directly associated with the Clan Hatton Association and the Clan Hatton Association clans.
Sure, right, of course.
A huge part of the history, and being that the Kleinhattan Association and what was the Confederation were good friends to Robert the Bruce, and there's a lot of history around that time during his life that has to do with feuds and
Mhm.
News of the Commons with the Clan Hatton Association and the Macintoshes
Right.
and McBains. So if you're interested, we'll talk more about the Black Douglas and give you little tidbits of information as it comes out and as they're
Great.
doing the movie. And I'm going to be able to be on set for some of this. So I'm so excited. Very
Oh,
excited.
good. Do you my friend Callie that helped me out a few times already on the with the camera and everything and with the Touch Not channel. She's my friend, my wildcat friend from the Clan Buchanan.
Hmm.
Callie, she's 8 years old, I believe. Um, she helped me do the what we call the clan tour at the main games. She walked around with me and said hi to all the clan people and things. And so we'll try to include a little segment about that, folks, if we can, just a little piece of it, maybe 1 or 2 tenths or something. I have something in mind that I'll send you, Cindy.
I would love to put that right here so everyone can see it. And again, everybody, you need to get on over if you haven't already to the Touch Not channel. I think you have more viewers than we do,
I'm
which is
trying to break 400. Help me break 400,
oh,
please.
let's help the Touch Not channel break 400. We were really happy to break 300 this last month, so we're
Oh,
great.
good.
Happy about that. And please, if you haven't subscribed to the Clan Hatton Association channel and you're seeing this on the Touch Not channel, come on over. We have a wide variety between the two of us, completely different, educational, fun, interesting, and diverse, and
Yes.
both very interesting. Both channels are very worth getting to know.
Yes, and our 12 clans are so diverse. We have a lot of material to work with, folks. I mean, we probably wouldn't be able to talk about everything there is in 5 years. So there's a lot of stuff out there, and if we look for it, we can get it and put it on a format that you might enjoy. That's what we're trying to do. This is all in books, and you can find it. You can take books and blow them off and find it yourself, but we're kind of doing that, and I think it's a fun thing. I hope you all agree.
It it's fun for us, and so I think that's what counts most. And with that, Ray, you have a passage or two, I think, that
Hmm.
you wanted to read from us. And I really just wanted to catch everyone up and explain where I've been and apologize for the long absence and let everybody know more is coming very shortly and that I have a lot to produce. I think I have 9 videos.
Do you?
And this will be number 10. So hopefully the next 2 weeks are all going to come out and you'll be able to see more of what it is we were able to do. But in the meantime,
Right.
let's Ray has
Sure.
prepared. Ray's prepared, which is wonderful.
Oh, I don't know about that, but let me see here. Now, there's a couple of books I've been looking through. This is called The House and Clan of Macintosh in the Clan Hatton. I believe this is 1880 something, 1880, right on the nose. Alexander McIntosh Shaw wrote this. He wrote a later book in 1903, and I think he calls himself A.M. Shaw on that one. He changed his name a little bit to try to avoid me, I think, but at any rate, I don't have that other book. In this book we've talked about before last month, and I think the month before that, Cindy sent me this, Minor Steps of Clan Hatton,
Yes.
Charles Fraser McIntosh. This author actually quotes this guy in here. So they're kind of all talking here, and he does actually talk about the name change too. Right, so this Minor Steps of Clan Hatton, there's many kinds of, there's many little, I should say, pockets of Shaws here and there. This book talks about all of them. This is about the Shaws of Todoric. Closely connected with the Clan Hatton were the Shaws of Todoric. Otherwise, Clan I-A-Y. I'm pronouncing that I.
Yes,
I have a reason for that. Somewhere I saw it. I was saying A, but I think it's I more likely.
it is.
Allied to and forming a prominent part of Clan Hatton, so long as clanship was legally recognized. He's just mentioning that after Culloden or something, maybe. But at any rate, the ancient good feeling still prevails and has found marked expression in the writings of Mr. Alexander McIntosh, formerly Shaw, above referred to. So he must have changed his name to McIntosh, apparently. As already mentioned, the Todoric Shaws descend from Adam, not that Adam. son of James. Well, perhaps, but second Shah of Rothamercus. The first son is Angus, settled in Strathdeer in about 1468. His posterity remained in Todaric as wadsetters. Now I see this word wadsetter a lot, and I decided to look that up rather than go right through these words. Some of these words I go right by them, and I should really know them. It means a mortgage holder. So remaining in Todaric as mortgage holders under Macintosh for 3 centuries, and in course of time acquiring in heritage Devach of Westerlays, another location. From the above Adam, the Todoric Shaws were styled Clan I, or did I say A? At any rate, AY. A barbarous spelling of the Gaelic AIDH. That's why I'm saying I and not A. And down to and including Governor Alexander Shaw. Now he's called that because governor of Isle of Man. So he was, you know how that can be. From then on, he was called governor no matter where he was. Down south in the U.S., that happens a lot, right? Or
Presidents.
right, yeah. No tribe was more devoted to the chief than the Shaws of Todoric. Like you're saying, they just were them. I'm thinking, like I was reading another one of my readings. It's on the channel. And I said, the older and infirm Macintosh chief at the North Inch of Perth in 1396 got to take the lead in the battle because he was too aged to do it. And I thought to myself, is Shaw leading Shaw's men or Macintosh's men? But they're all the same people at this time. Shaw's are Macintoshes. It's hard to figure that out. Now we have a list of 12, but so Shaw is very close to Macintosh. Like you say, it's half their word. It's
Yes.
the second half of the word. So how close can you get, right?
Well, and we will find out more information. Actually, I'm on the council with Ian Shaw, and he is going to be making his own, I think he's filming it right now,
Oh,
a documentary about Clan Shaw.
okay.
So as soon as that's ready to go, we will go ahead and share it with all of you.
Oh, good.
That should be very exciting because, of course, he is the one who knows all things about Clan Shaw and all of the history. And so I'm very much looking forward to that when it's completed, and hopefully it'll be completed shortly so that we can all see it and learn more about Clan Shaw and its origins and its history.
Yes, it has a very complicated, I don't believe it's a very large clan, but it has a very complicated makeup of lots of different segments of it. Like when we say that clan, I'm going to say it wrong again now, that clan I word, that just means the clan Shah of Todaric. The clan Shah section that reside in Todaric, designated as Todaric, is the clan AY, not the entire Shah. It's not another name for Shah, it's another name for just part of it.
And it's a location. If you ever in the Cairngorms in Scotland and in this area, it is absolutely stunning. Matter of fact, there are so many walks and hiking trails right in this immediate area.
The grandson of this Angus, it also mentions Robert. It just mentions quickly he was the father of Angus and Bain, B-E-A-N. This name Bain comes up in a lot of different ones. It's a name that's used, like we saw someone named Bain in McGillivray, I think, and this happened again here. At any rate, Angus Shaw is found in 1543, a leading man in the clan, but not designed as Shaw, meaning known as, merely Angus MacRobert. So some of these people, I think we saw this in McGillivray too, someone was called himself Bain. He just did, and that's it might have been Mac Bain, but this guy is known as Mac Robert, but he is certainly a Shaw.
He was a son of Robert, that's why.
Yes. He was the first wadsetter, mortgage holder in Todaric. Dying without issue, he was succeeded by his brother, Bain or Benjamin, who had 2 sons. One known called Adam Shaw, known as again. I McBain, Vic Robert. I believe that Vic designation is son of as well. Because we see, have you ever seen MHIC in some of the manuscripts, Cindy?
Yes.
As Mick, like Mick as MHIC is a an equal to me as MAC.
Yes, and it means son of. It's another, I believe it's the Gallic, one of the Gallic spellings of son of. So all of that means son of.
Right. Right, but and here he wrote the letters VIC because he knows that MH in Gallic is a V sound as well as BH.
And you see that throughout all of the manuscripts. And I'm hoping, as we get back into Cats and Coffee, and we're able to do it, fingers crossed, for the most part, on a weekly basis. I'm
Mhm.
also hoping we can go over the Gillicatton's posterity. But how fascinating is this going to be? And we'll release, of course, Graham McKenzie's segment that his talk he did with Philip Beddoes, so that everyone can hear that. And then I think you and I need to kind of take it and go over it a little more slowly,
Okay.
go over the information. It is astounding. So that's just a little hint of where this genealogy is going to start, way back in 1215.
Wow.
It's going to be, for me, it was kind of groundbreaking. And I had heard my father speak before, when he was alive, speak on how he knew in his readings and some of the papers he had collected that originally we came from Ireland.
Right.
And so we're going to trace everything back to Gillicatton, who came over. He came over from Galloway near Ulster
Hmm.
in 1215, and the reasons why and what was going on during that period of time, and his life and his journey, as far as we've been able to trace that back and to find out more about it. So stay tuned. It's
Right.
fascinating. Gillicatton was Ava's grandfather,
Wow. Okay.
and he had 5 offspring, of which came Clan Shaw, the Macintoshes, the Macphersons, and the Macmillans,
Hmm.
who also became known as Camerons.
Okay. Yes.
So it's a very complicated, interwoven history, but we have charts, and Graham's put together some genealogy charts to help us follow along. And so I'll post one right here so everyone can see, from Gillicatton down to where the big clans of Clan Hatton, what was the Confederation,
Yep.
and Macmillans, who weren't part of that, but were originally, and then became known as Camerons. And the question of, where did the Cameron name come from?
Okay.
And what happened with the Camerons and why? And so it's all very fascinating to me. So I can't wait for us to talk more about that and hear more about that. And
Right. This is exciting stuff, and I think there's a lot of topics we can get into a little more in depth now, especially after this year when we've, touched upon all the clans and things. Well, perhaps we can get some topics more in depth, that things that encompass a lot of the clan stories that encompass a lot of the clans, like this one.
yeah, well, and it's interesting because as we've delved more into, what a great journey. And I know you have really researched a lot more than what I've been able to do and cover more of it. But as you get into some of the histories of these 12 clans, and we talk more about their interactions with some of the other clans, and how actually the Clan Hatton Confederation was so powerful in Scotland for such a long time and in the Highlands. I mean, they really, especially after the Lord of the Isles, they were the ones who were very dominant, if not the most dominant force in the Highlands for centuries. And because of this, there were feuds and a lot of things that happened um, that involved and embroiled the royal family of Scotland at times. And so as we delved into some of these histories with these clans, it's like, well, why would this clan be having a feud with this clan? So every time you find a new piece of the puzzle, I felt like you had to go back
Oh,
further.
please. I know.
You have to go back further and you have to
Yep.
go back further because
Yeah.
when you go back to the beginning, which is what we're attempting to do with the Gillicatons posterity, and we look at it from up here down,
Yep.
it makes more sense.
It flows a little bit better, right?
It flows better. Like, why in the world would
Yeah.
Macintoshes and Clan Hatton be feuding with these Camerons? And there are some good explanations for that.
Hmm.
And the ties to the Macmillans. And then, what happened? Why was the feud with the Commons? Where did the Commons come from? Why were they being backed by the King of England? So there's so many
Right.
questions. And so it's it's just kind of taken us this year back and back and back and back and back.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're back to a place where it began in the north of Scotland, where things began and the reasons why
Right.
Billy Catton was so important of a figure to Clan Hatton and to the Highland clans and all what became the Highlands for centuries. And so I'm very excited about it, and we're going to share it with all of you.
Yeah, you're certainly right. I'm forever saying, okay, freeze frame that, Ray, and then like where the heck does all this start from? And I need to just exactly what you said. Back up, go back, find what's going on, come back to this date or time, and oh yeah, now it makes sense. And just
Isn't it
uh,
funny? Because it's like, yeah, we get into it, so it's like, well, why did that happen? Well, I did the thing on the Battle of the North Inch. Well, why is this person saying this? Why is this person saying that? Why is this other person making this assertion?
yep.
And then all the different, theories, and then what makes the most sense because of the history right before that.
And then you throw in a book or three or four that's been found to be not exactly accurate by other authors after that fact. And oh my gosh, it's a tangled web we have woven for ourselves, folks, Cindy and I. It's a tartan web and it's a tangled one, but I think we like it.
Well, it's wonderful. And then we'll talk about the Mackenzies, because now we've had not just Graham Mackenzie, there's another Mackenzie. There was another Mackenzie, that Macintosh of Kinrara, who wrote the Kinrara
Yes.
manuscript. He lent some of the writings and the manuscripts that he used to write Kinrara, he lent them to a Mackenzie just because they're in the same area. I understand.
Yep.
Like, you got Mackenzies, you've got some Frasers, you've got the Camerons, you've got Macmillans, you've got some other families in the same area who they have ties in their genealogy to Clan Hatton as well. And so
Right.
we've got two Mackenzies now who have made a
Yeah.
mission to trace the
Interesting.
history and write about it. So, and there's the good reasons why for that too. So it's
Right.
it's it's fun. And Graham Mackenzie is very, very well qualified, and I'll put up here his qualifications and his formal education. And the work that he does is just phenomenal. And I'll put some links to that so you can check out. He's got at least one website, and he's written so many books, not just this one. So he's written a lot about the Macmillan history, and
Yep.
In order to write about that, he needed to tie, well, where did the Macmillans come from? So, Ray, I have so wonderful to see you. I cannot wait to get back into the groove of cats and coffee again. And
Indeed.
I want to say thank you all for tuning in. Here's my little coffee mug. Yes, I'm drinking.
Yes. Great to be back on the trail with you.
And you, everyone, stay tuned, and we'll see you next week. Like and subscribe. Do it right now. Make a comment. Leave a comment. We want to hear from you. And bye for now.
All right. Touch not, everyone.
It's not.